Well, what do we have going on here? News Matt in the building. What's good, y'all? Hope you're having a blessed day. We got not one, not two, but 3 to 4 topics to talk about in today's video, but it will be highlighted with the Bronny and Sharif Cooper situation. The situation with Sharif is interesting because he's the most likable person in the world, but now he's starting to get a ton of hate. And on the other hand, for Bronny, well, it's Bronny. He could go eat some Taco Bell and people are going to talk about it. We got a lot of stuff to get into and we're going to do just that. So if you're new to the channel and love basketball content, what are you doing? Join the family, hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. Now, without further ado, let's get into the news. First things first, before we get into the juicy stuff and what I want to get into, I gotta bring you this. This was relatively big news because he's regarded as a generational talent and one of the best players we've ever seen. The player I'm referring to is Emoni Bates. If you didn't know, Emoni was committed to Michigan State for what I feel like was over 2 years. But roughly a day ago, he announced that he was going to decommit from Michigan State and open up his recruitment process. Like I said, a few of you were sending me this on Instagram and I would like to say I'm shocked, but I'm not, and most of us saw this coming. With the whole way the college system is going and now you can go to the G League or go overseas, I knew he was going to at least open his eyes and look at one of those options. I'm almost 100% sure, and you can almost book it and mark it down, that he's not going to go to college. He's more than likely going to do the exact same thing that Jalen Green did, but hey, we don't know. All we know for now is that he decommitted from Michigan State. Moving on to our next and second topic in this video that also has to do with recruiting, Shaquille O'Neal's son, known as Shaquille O'Neal, has committed to Texas Southern. This somewhat shocked a lot of people because nobody expected him to choose this school. A lot of people was hoping that he'd go to a Power 5 conference, but on the other hand, people are really happy that he's going to a HBCU college. If you've been keeping up with the news videos that I do, you'll probably realize that I never talk about commitments. The reason for that is because we see players decommit and commit all the time, but I did find this one interesting. Now with those two topics out of the way, let's get into the best and most interesting part of this video. At the beginning of the college basketball season last year, there was a ton of hype and attention around Sharif Cooper, and for obvious reasons. He was one of the most exciting point guards we've ever seen at the high school level. But the NCAA, being the NCAA, they didn't let him play for the first 10 to 12 games. At the time, and even till this day when I'm making this video, that was the biggest joke I've ever seen out of the NCAA. I absolutely hate when they hold out these kids because this is putting their career and life on the line. Think about it this way, if Sharif never even got to play that season, he wouldn't even be getting drafted this year. Let's just be thankful that they eventually let him come back and play and he got to prove himself. I just can't emphasize enough at how it's so strange and weird that the NCAA cannot make a decision on whether these kids can play or not within a week or two. We shouldn't be happy that it got cleared after 10 to 12 games. It should have happened after 1 or 2. That's a whole nother debate and topic for a different video. Let's continue on with this one. Finally, when he did get cleared to play, he not only met the expectations, but he surpassed them. He was flat out dominating the competition and he was a game changer. And the best part about it was that he was doing it in so many factors. He literally made a mediocre Auburn basketball team look good and competitive in every single game. That's how much of a game changer he was for Auburn and how great he was at the college level. When he was in the game, he controlled the tempo, he could speed it up or go slow, and when he went on the bench, it was a disaster. And for the main part, that's why he was never on the bench, maybe 1 to 2 minutes a game. He wasn't just showcasing his scoring ability though, he was also proving that he could pass and be a true point guard. He was putting up unreal numbers in his first 4 to 5 games. Now eventually he did start to cool off, but it didn't hurt his stats. In just 12 games played, he averaged 20.2 points per game, 8.1 assists, and 4.3 rebounds. I could go on and on about Cooper, and let's not forget that he's also a great person off the court. Only hoopers are going to understand this, but him not being able to play was hurting him so much and you don't even understand it. I gotta give credit where it's due. Through the adversity he was facing, he still stood tall. I think he's one of the greatest role models and one of the greatest players you can have out there for basketball standards. But however, with that being said, this is where things start to get interesting. As the season continued to progress and he kept performing and putting on a show, he started to skyrocket up the draft boards. He went from being undrafted to the second round to the first round and even the lottery. And even late in the year and when the season ended, everybody was saying how he was a for sure lottery pick. NBA analysts were high on him, scouts were high on him, and everyone out there was giving him nothing but praise. I'm going to be honest, I don't like Auburn, but I liked watching Sharife Cooper play. He was the most exciting player to watch in the country to me, but I never saw the hype and I didn't understand why people were saying he was going to be a lottery pick. It didn't make any sense. Some people will say I'm wrong and this is controversial and it's a hot take, but I completely disagree. This is straight up facts and I have the numbers to back it up. In every single game of Sharif's that I watched, he was good at attacking the rim and passing the ball. But his one flaw was that he was the worst shooter on the court almost 85% of the time. I'm talking about point guards, small forwards, and power forwards. Of course, the centers were worse at shooting than him. It got to the point where in some games, they would almost leave him wide open and they weren't guarding him above the 3-point line. His jump shot needs some serious work, and what made me so mad was that it's such a simple fix. The only thing wrong with it is that he leans back and fades away when he shoots every single time. If you watch LeBron early in his career, that's what he used to do, and that's why he wasn't a great shooter. Cooper has a good shot form, that's fine. It's just the fact that he leans back and it throws everything off. As a shooter, and I'm sure there's some lights out shooters out there that can back me up on this, to take your shooting ability to another level, you gotta jump forward or at least jump straight up and down. When you start leaning back, your shoulders aren't aligned with the goal, so the minor inconvenience can throw off every single shot. Every single time he shot the basketball, I cringed, and it only made me mad because I feel like someone on the coaching staff at Auburn should have said something or helped him in some workouts. I understand and I get it 100%. You don't want to change a guy's shot in the middle of the season. And then two, another thing I get is that he's been shooting that way probably his entire life. You don't want to mess it up, but here's the thing. Eventually you're going to have to fix it, so you might as well start early. I'm saying all that to get back on topic with Sharif and the lottery. Throughout the season, I never believed he was a lottery pick. The only, and I mean the only reason at all is because he can't shoot the 3-ball. I wouldn't have a problem if he wasn't a great shooter and he was 6'5" or 6'6". But he's an undersized point guard, and if you're undersized like Trae Young and Stephen Curry, you gotta be able to shoot. For the people that actually watched him play this year and you still disagree with me, I have no idea how. His shooting wasn't even average, it was bad. From the overall field, he only shot 39%. That's not great, but hey, you'll take it. But from the 3-point line, which is what we're focusing on, he only shot 22.8%. 22.8%. There's no excuse for that. That's terrible. Guess what though? There is some good news with that. His shooting is not bad and it's a simple fix. I say it's a simple fix. It's going to be a hard fix, but it's not going to be as hard as some people think. He's going to have to change his shot. As to what he's going to need to do, I'm not going to say because I'm not here to be a shooting coach. But when he does change his shot, it's actually going to get worse than what it originally was, and here's why. When you start changing stuff, whether that's in golf, basketball, baseball, football, any sport, you got to take a step back to go forward. That's how it happens. As to why it's that way, I don't know, but you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. When the season ended for Auburn, and even a week or a month after, everyone was saying he was a for sure lottery pick and he's going to go in the top 15. Ever since the season ended though, his NBA draft stock has continued to drop. Some mock drafts even have him falling in the early second round, and that's crazy because not too long ago, people were saying he could be a top 7 or top 8 pick. And one of the mock drafts that I look at a lot, they got him going at number 25, but in the scouting report, they say the same thing that everyone else says. NBA teams are worried about his shooting ability and him on defense because they feel like he's a liability. I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves. Even if he does fix his shooting, he's going to be a problem on the defensive side of the ball. He's very short and he's not very muscular. At college, I would even say he was struggling to guard some point guards. In the NBA, it's going to be a whole nother beast. Out of all the high school stars, college stars, and even players going into the draft, almost every single one of them gets a little bit of hate. But Sharife Cooper never gets hate. Until as of recently. I've had people tag me in posts about Sharife Cooper and tell me to look at the comment section, and people are flaming him nonstop. I'm not gonna throw up every single comment section, but I really can't believe it because it's crazy how fast people start to switch up on him. Whether you think he's a first rounder or second rounder, I don't understand the hate. People are saying stuff like, oh, he can't lead a team, he didn't do that much at Auburn, and blah 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 blah. They're saying he's gonna be a bust, he's gonna be a second rounder, and he should have stayed one more year. There's so many, and if you're curious, you can just go to any comment section about Sharif and there's gonna be some hate. I was shocked about this, and it's weird because I feel like people don't think for themselves. 3 to 4 months ago, you wouldn't see a hate comment about Sharif because people were only saying good things. But now that NBA scouts are coming out and saying they don't think he's going to be a first rounder, and if he is a first rounder, he's going to be a late first rounder, and he can't shoot that good, now you have fanboys and people in comments saying, oh, Sharif's going to be a bust, and blah, 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 blah. You're just saying Sharif's going to be a bust because you heard it on TV. Make up your own opinion. Be a man. People are starting to hate on him and say bad things about him because that's what other people are saying. As for me, here's where I stand on the situation. I think Cooper is one of the greatest role models you can have out there. He's a great hooper and he's a great humble person. He's a good basketball player and I think he should be a first round pick, but he should not be a lottery pick, and more than likely he won't be. Me saying he's not a great shooter, that's not hate or anything. I'm just being honest. I gotta give you the facts and the truth. Whether you like it or not, that's up to you. Look at it this way. How stupid would I look if I came up here and told you guys, oh, Sharife Cooper's a great shooter and he's shooting 20%. Now I would be looking stupid. The problem I have with this situation is that people saying he's not a great shooter in the comment section, that's not a big deal. But where it starts to get ridiculous and it's labeled as hate is when you say he's going to be a bust and he's not good and he didn't do anything at Auburn. That's just talking out of your mind because 1, he's not a bust, so you have no facts to back it up, and 2, he had a great season at Auburn. So for people to say that, that's utterly ridiculous. I think the people writing hate comments and hating on Sharif look flat out stupid. He averaged 20 points per game and 8 assists and barely even got to play. Imagine what he would have done if he got comfortable. I'm sure he would have improved his jump shot even more. With all of that being said, before we get into our last topic, I do want to touch on this. At the end of the season, I started to notice that his jump shot got a little better. I did take notice in that, so don't think I forgot, but he did average over 4 turnovers per game, and he's going to need to clean that up a little. Let me know what you think about Sharife Cooper. Should he be a first rounder or a second rounder? Now, let's get into our last and final topic of this video. We have no other than Bronny James. We haven't even talked about Bronny on this channel in what I feel like has been 2 to 3 months, and the reason for that is because he had surgery, I believe. I don't know if he had surgery for sure, but he did get hurt, so he's not playing. He tore his meniscus, and I've torn my meniscus and ACL, and a meniscus injury typically takes 2 to 3 months to heal, so he should be getting ready to return, or he's pretty close. 3 days ago on Instagram, _Team Strive for Greatness _ posted a mini highlight montage of some players that are unclear and we don't know, but they were hooping. It was almost like a suspense video. They had numbers on and hoodies on, and a lot of people were saying that one of the players in the video was Bronny. For the people that are confused, Team Strive Greatness is an AAU team that goes by the name of SFG. I'm not going to make any assumptions because I couldn't tell for myself, and you really can't tell who the players are in the video. But a lot of people were tagging me in it and saying that Bronny was one of the players and he's wearing number 0 because under this post, LeBron James even commented. I actually found this pretty odd. I don't know if he comments on a lot of posts, but this video only has 30,000 views, so for LeBron to comment under it, I just found it strange. LeBron himself said, "About to be a cold summer, let's go." I figured a lot of you guys that were tagging me in this were putting 2 and 2 together. I guess Bronny's got to be on the team because why else will LeBron be commenting that? The team is Strive for Greatness, and I'm pretty sure LeBron either A, owns that team, or B, has a big part in it. I don't like to make assumptions. A lot of people was saying that was Bronny, but if he just had surgery and the guy in the video that was number 0 was dunking, that really doesn't make a lot of sense. Hey, it could make sense though because Bronny and the whole LeBron James family is built different. LeBron's probably got a lab in his basement that he put Bronny in, and he's all good now. With that being said, things have been somewhat weird with Bronny because he hasn't played in a long time, and the new ESPN rankings have recently came out, and he's not ranked in them. Everywhere, people are freaking out saying, why is he not ranked? He should be ranked. But guys, You can't rank a player who's not going out there and proving himself each and every night. It wouldn't be fair to the other guys, so don't think too much about Bronny not being ranked, because once he starts playing, he'll probably go back up. The real question about all this is that will Bronny play AAU or sit it out to get healthy? My guess on it is that he may sit out a month or a couple of weeks and he'll return maybe in June or July. If I was him though, I wouldn't rush it because he's got a lot of time and he has nothing to prove because he's LeBron's son. He can go to any college he wants to and he'll more than likely get to the NBA even if he doesn't play that good. I'm very curious though. Let me know if you think Bronny's going to play or not, and is he on that team. This was a long news video, but we had a lot to talk about and we haven't made a news video in 2 to 3 weeks, so we had to get caught up. Like I said, drop your comments down below, but with all that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. If you're new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family, hit that subscribe button, and leave a like for more. Road to 52 million subscribers, and as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.